Welcome to ABT 93, Product Processing and Cooling. And this class is not one that I normally teach online, but due to COVID, here we are. I want to just introduce you to some of the basic concepts of the class. Go Niners. And also give you some idea about how to navigate the things that we will be doing. This is a lecture only class. There are homework assignments, etc., but let's walk through the material that I want to share to get you started. Obviously, if you're here watching this, you know how to get into Canvas and to the course. So let me share the screen and we can get going with that. Share. And so here's my screen. Here's a tab with Canvas. And when you first log into Canvas, you have your dashboard. Yours will look different with different courses. I got a whole laundry list of things there. And the course will be published shortly. I just need to get this intro video before I can publish it. But product processing and cooling, here it is. And when you go in there, the very first thing is getting started. So you should read all of these lines and follow the instructions, do all of the things it says to do, like reading the syllabus, going to modules, and maybe you found this video by accident, maybe you did read this and it directed you to go to the intro video. On the left-hand side, on the far left, one thing I want to point out to you is the inbox. That is how I want you to communicate with me. I do not want you to send me an email to my Hartnell email address. I have one, but it is a garbage can of way too much useless information, and I want all of my student communications in one spot. It makes it easier for me, and it will make it easier for you as well if you just keep your communication related to this class in the inbox. It's technically not an email system, but it will forward copies of this internal communication system called the inbox. It will forward that to your email. I think there are ways to turn that off, but I think most students like getting the email notifications. The next level of content is the navigation column of links, and I'll go through the things that we will be seeing here in this class, using in this class. The first one, announcements. And so far, the only thing I've announced is in previous semesters. I haven't announced anything yet. As soon as I publish this, I will be announcing something about the cooperative work experience class in case any of you are interested. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and contact me either through the Canvas inbox or through my cell phone, through text or voicemail, call me, whatever, and I'll give you that in the syllabus. So announcements, they should be forwarded automatically to your email, or at least they will be once the semester starts, unless you turn that off. And you can always get your announcements in here. Now, these are marked red because these are all old ones, but they will not show up and look the exact same way when you're in here. Now, keep in mind, it'll look a little different as a student. I'm in instructor view. So some of the layout, colors, details are slightly different, but for the purposes of this video, it all looks basically the same, close enough. Then we have assignments. And assignments, none of them are published or green, but you can see here's the list of assignments we'll be doing this semester, etc. Now, one of the challenges is that some of you are going to be needing to take this class or do some things online, and some of you will be meeting with me face-to-face on Thursdays at noon. And in order to accommodate that, it's going to be a little extra work on my part, but I'm going to do the course fully online for those of you who need it that way. And I still want those of you who can, please show up to the class at 12 on Thursday, because I'll give you much more detail. You'll answer questions. It's really to your benefit and mine if you show up. Grades, you can see grades on individual assignments. I just give you a warning right now. Beware of the grade book. At least beware of the grade to date. It doesn't take into account certain things, attendance related issues, things like that, that I don't score in Canvas. So you can't see exactly what your grade is today. You can always ask me, send me a message if you, or call me, we'll figure it out. People, we don't use that, but you can see who's in the class. Syllabus, that's an important one. Now the syllabus is listed here. It is Thursdays, 12 to 3:10 in room C109, or kind of between you and me and kind of an under the table thing. I will work with you if you can't come to class, because this was originally listed as a fully online class and it got moved. And some of you can't move it because you signed up for an online class because you're working on Thursdays at noon and you can't make it. If that's you, I apologize for the switch, but we'll work together. We'll make this work. But I need to hear from you. If I don't have a personal one-on-one situation with you that I know you're taking the class online or in some hybrid form, I'll consider you absent and mark you as absent on Thursdays. I expect everybody to show up unless you've talked to me personally, one-on-one, and we've worked out some sort of an arrangement. Otherwise, we meet Thursdays. All right. Cell phone, I told you I'd give that to you. So here it is. Put me in your contacts if you don't already have me there. Email, use the Canvas inbox system. That is my personal email on the screen right now. So you can text me, leave me a voicemail, whatever. And I'm not going to read this. That's part of your job. Read this. I will say that grading is as objective as I can make it. You earn points, and at the end of the semester, I take how many points did you earn versus how many points were possible, and I divide them. And whatever the percentage is of that, that division, that's your grade. The final exam, whether you're doing this face-to-face or online, will be Thursday, December 16th. I'll have to figure out how this exactly is going to work. I'm guessing that I'll have it both in person as well as online options. Again, read through this. Please understand what is in the syllabus, things that you might need to know, but that's your job. Oh, and near the bottom, where'd it go? Reporting, useful links. Okay, here it is. The following link to download the syllabus. If you wanted to print the syllabus, save trees, don't do it if you're not somebody who just needs all of your stuff in a folder. But if that's who you are, you need a binder, you need everything in a folder or a binder, and you need to print it, print this. Prints more cleanly, uses less paper. It's the way to go. You can download this or just download it and save it on your device. And then you've got the syllabus. If you ever have internet problems or whatever in Canvas, you can always get to your syllabus because it's on your laptop or wherever you store files. Course summary, please ignore it. This is all kinds of old garbage. I still haven't wasted my time to figure out how to clean that up. Since I almost always am doing face-to-face classes anyway, I haven't worried about that. Quizzes, I will definitely announce things, but they will be available through assignments as well. So you can ignore the quizzes tab because everything you need will be in assignments, even if it's a quiz. Then we come to modules. Modules, very important stuff. Now, as soon as I'm done here, I will put this video in the introduction video section. Research project guidelines. All of you will be doing a research project. And so let's go in there, download the research project file, or at least open it up in the view here. Actually, let me go ahead and download it. I think that will be easier. You can look at it in Canvas, or you can open it up as you just saw me do here. View, zoom, page width. There, it's a little bigger. All right, so every single student is going to do a research project, a term project for this paper. You are going to either, I'm still working on exactly the details. You're either going to be assigned a crop or select a crop. And it'll be related to product processing and cooling. So the processing and cooling of carrots or something, potatoes, lettuce, whatever it is, some detail, not just the entire thing about processing and cooling, but some detail that we'll get into later. You're going to have your name, ABT 93, and the date in the upper right-hand corner, single spaced. Follow instructions. Single space. There's a way to learn how to do formatting of documents, a descriptive title. When we get to that assignment, I will talk about what I mean there with a descriptive title. It's not just cooling carrots or processing lettuce. I want to know exactly what your paper is about in some detail. So page 1 will be the title and abstract page. The pages 2 to 6 or more will be your actual paper. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 5-page minimum paper. And then your works cited. And if you choose to do it in another format than MLA, it might be called something else. You might use the word bibliography or references. If you are in a discipline in other classes and you prefer CSE or some other style rather than MLA, we'll get to that later. In addition to a paper, each student may be required to do a presentation of the class. I say maybe because it depends. Not only are we doing a 16-week compressed semester, but we've got 2 holidays to deal with. We've got Veterans Day, we've got Thanksgiving. Both are on Thursdays that interfere with the scheduling of this class. Plus, I have this online versus face-to-face. I want to do the presentations, but we'll see how the semester goes. And we'll get to that later. And then you can read through this a little more in detail to find out exactly what I want from that research project for each of you. All right, so please check that out. The student plan, I'm not even going to go into that because I don't have one at the moment. There is a recommended book for those of you in the industry. It's not recommended for the class specifically. There's lots of wonderful stuff in there. You do not need it for the class. But if you're interested in the cooling of fruits and vegetables, this is a fabulous resource. It's kind of an industry standard. So I let you know, for anybody who's interested in this area professionally, that's a book you should have on your bookshelf and have read, not just sitting there on the shelf to look cool. Note-taking tips and tutorials. Very important in college is taking notes. And so a lot of students get to college and don't know how to take good notes and how to be a student. And I can't take time away from this class to do that. So here's some tutorials, some tips, some websites. There's so much out there. And in some departments, they do spend some more time on it, or you could get help in the tutorial center. But you need to be able to take good notes. And so there you go. Online resources, some useful links. This is a list of links. Some of them may be out of date, but they have some product processing and cooling related links, some colleges, some potential employers. There's a lot of stuff there that's related to the class, related to agriculture student interest in general. So there's nothing there you have to do for the class. It's stuff that might be useful to you professionally. And some of the links actually have some great resources for doing your research papers. So if you have any questions about any of them, let me know. Otherwise, take a look. Salinas Valley Ammonia Safety Day, that used to always be late spring, and because of COVID, it was moved to August, and we just missed it. It was August 4th and 5th, or I forget exactly. It was just passed a little bit ago, and it's something, though, that you should be aware of. If you're at a cooler or a processing facility, how do they keep everything cold? Large-scale refrigeration is generally done with ammonia, anhydrous ammonia, very dangerous chemical, but a very effective one. It's dangerous to have high concentrations of it that spill on you or that you breathe the vapors, but it's an excellent refrigerant. In small concentrations, it's used as a fertilizer, so it can be very safe when diluted. It's just something that you need to be aware of. And so they call this the Ammonia Safety Day because when you're working in facilities that have huge tanks of ammonia, you need to be aware of that. What if there's a leak? What if there's an earthquake? How do you make sure you and your fellow employees are all safe? I highly recommend that you just take a look. See when their next one is going to be. I don't know if they're going to stick to an August schedule from here on out, or if this is kind of a short-term change in their schedule, but keep an eye on that website and take a look. Go to the Salinas Valley Ammonia Safety Day. It can be continuing education credits for some people who need continuing education for their professional licenses. It can be great for your employment. You can put it on your resume or put it in your portfolio that you attended. And I just highly recommend that you get involved and you go to events that make sense. And this is one that makes sense for this class. Unfortunately, it's not in a timing that works for the class. Before in May, I used to always take my vegetable crop production students. That was kind of the one that fit well. I taught it in the spring, and I could take the class to the Salinas Valley Ammonia Safety Day. I did that quite a number of years in a row. And then everything else is going to be week by week. The first one, we're going to be brainstorming some topics about product processing and cooling and talking about what the heck is product processing and cooling. We don't have a textbook because there really isn't a single book that goes across all of the things I want to do in this class. There's a great book that has some cooling aspects. There's some engineering books that go into refrigeration design and systems and maintenance and safety. And there's lots of stuff, but there's no one textbook that covers the breadth of this class. But week by week, I'll be giving lectures about various topics. There'll be things to read, assignments to do, etc. Your job is to keep up with this website, come to the lectures on Thursdays if at all possible, pay attention to assignments, announcements, and make sure you're on top of these things. The paper will be announced very soon. We'll talk more details about when will it be due. You'll build it in a few pieces. You'll first have a proposal. What is your paper really going to look like? And we'll go into more detail on your term project when we get those term project selection assignments going. So if you have any questions at this point, please don't hesitate to send me a Canvas inbox message, a text, or call me.